It was January, the kind of cold that cracked skin, numbed fingertips, and bit through even the thickest coats. But Eli didn't have a thick coat, just a faded hoodie and a pair of thrift store jeans that were too short, showing pale ankles that had long since stopped registering pain. The shelter was full, more than full, packed to the point where the staff had stopped apologizing for not having any more cots. Everyone just grabbed a slice of floor and tried to pretend it didn't smell like mildew, sweat, and old shoes. Eli, 17, had staked out a corner behind a broken soda machine. One bulb above him flickered in stubborn protest, casting shadows that danced like jolted, nervous spirits. Every time it blinked, he flinched. He laid there on a threadbare mat, curled tightly, his knees pressed into his chest to conserve what little warmth he had. His backpack, his only possession, was shoved under his head. Inside he had one pair of socks, a bent library card, a pocket Bible with someone else's name in gold lettering, and a picture of his mom when she still smiled. He didn't sleep. Not really. Sleep in a shelter meant vulnerability. It meant someone could steal your shoes, your blanket, or worse. So he just lay there, awake, again, listening. A man was arguing with himself 2 mats over. Someone snored loud enough to shake the room. In the back, a woman rocked herself, whispering names only she remembered. Eli recognized none of them. The cold pressed against his bones, not just outside, but inside, where hopelessness sat like lead. Then something changed. It wasn't loud, not obvious, but somehow Eli felt it before he heard or saw it. A presence, the kind that silences a room without a word, like the air itself had shifted. He looked up. A man was walking through the shelter. Not a worker, not a cop, not one of the usuals. This man looked ordinary, but not the kind of ordinary you forget. He had eyes that seemed to hold whole galaxies, a beard that wasn't wild, but wasn't neat either. His hoodie was worn, the kind of soft that comes from hundreds of washes. His jeans were dusty, his hands were calloused, and he was wearing sandals. In this weather, Eli thought, he walked slowly, passing sleeping bodies, murmuring prayers, snores, and whispered regrets. No one looked up. No one stirred. Except Eli. The man saw him and stopped. "Mind if I sit here?" the man asked, nodding to the empty floor beside him. Eli frowned. "There's cots by the front." The man smiled. "I didn't come for a cot." And he sat, cross-legged, quiet, like he wasn't in a rush. like he wasn't too good for the floor, like Eli's space wasn't something to avoid, but something sacred. You waiting on someone? Eli asked after a moment, unsure why he was even speaking. I'm already with someone, the man replied. That's supposed to be deep or something? Eli muttered, turning his face toward the wall. No, the man said simply, just honest. Minutes passed. The vending machine buzzed. The woman in the back cried out once in her sleep, and then Eli spoke again. You some kind of preacher? I know God, the man answered. Eli scoffed. Yeah, then tell him thanks for nothing. He lets people starve, sleep in gutters. He lets kids get thrown out like trash. The man looked at him then, and not the way other people looked. Not like he was broken, not like he was dangerous, but like he was known. I was with you that night, he said quietly, when she told you to leave, when you slept behind the gas station, when you shared that sandwich with the stray dog, even though you were starving. Eli's breath caught in his throat. The man continued, and I was there when you opened that Bible and begged someone to prove they cared. Eli's voice trembled. How do you know that? The man slowly uncurled his hand and turned it palm up. A faded scar right through the center. Not red, not gory, just there. Quiet, eternal. Eli's eyes widened. Are you? The man didn't answer. Instead, he reached out and laid a hand, rough and warm, on Eli's shoulder. And in that moment, something cracked deep in Eli's chest. Not like glass shattering, more like ice breaking, letting warmth in for the first time in, oh, so long. He didn't speak again. He didn't need to. They lay side by side that night, on the cold floor, not a word more exchanged. And Eli, for the first time in months, slept. Morning came with fluorescent lights and the clatter of tired staff pushing brooms. Eli woke slowly, blinking at the ceiling. The man, well, he was gone. But his old thin blanket was replaced by a thick, warm one. New, heavy, clean, and under his head was a pillow. A real one. He sat up quickly, looking around, his heart pounding. Then he saw it, written in black marker across the wall, above where he had slept. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was homeless, and you let me stay. Matthew 25, verses 35 through 36. Below it, a second line, smaller, in handwriting that looked ancient and childlike at the same time. Eli, I never left. You see, friends, God doesn't wait for us to be clean, fixed, or ready. Jesus doesn't only walk into churches, he walks into shelters. He lays down on the floor beside the broken, and he whispers to the forgotten, "You matter. I see you. I choose this place because you were here." Because to him, you were never homeless. You were always home. God bless you, my friends.